Hi spooky friends, welcome back to Kelly Does Stuff. Today is part 6 of my witch tree. It's been a little while since we looked at this project. I moved the tree into its display location for the season, and so today I'm going to show you how, that's the coffee maker. I'm going to show you how I hide those cords, make a couple quick platforms to add to the display for some other buildings I want to feature, and start adding those accessories so we can see what this display is going to look like. If you're not familiar, I created a tree out of PVC pipe and pool noodles to display the witch buildings of my collection. And it has been quite a process. I feel like we have a problem. And I'm excited that we are near the end. So let's go to our tree. Let's talk clips for cords. I tried out 2 different types. We have the clear command strips, and then we have these white quick clips. They both seem to work equally well in securing those cords in place. I didn't feel like they were going to go anywhere, and ultimately I just decided to go with the white quick clips. They do have an adhesive back to them, but just a heads up, this was not strong enough to hold this in place on my pool noodle tree, so I do use some hot glue to secure them in place. Okay, here we go with our first building, and it's just a pretty straightforward process. Nothing too complicated about this. We're just trying to hide those cords the best that we can. Okay, I'm going to show you the path here of where I'm planning to run this cord. You can see it there, hopefully behind the building. And then I'm just going to find along the branch the best way to run this so that you won't see it. And here's my first one in place. Sorry, I couldn't position that camera so you could see me attaching it, but I'm just attaching it to the tree, putting the cord in the clip, and then thinking about the next place I want to run the cord and position my next clip. Once I got both those clips in place, I took a step back from the tree and looked at it from a couple angles, and I could see a bit of the cord sticking out. And yes, this is getting a bit picky, but I'm like, the whole point is to hide the cords. Let's really hide them. So I just grabbed a floral pick and helped secure that part of the cord in place. For this building, I'm going to start out by securing my cord to my wooden base. Now you can see that I have moss attached to this base, and what I need to do is pull that off in the spot where I want to attach the clip, so I am hot gluing the clip directly to the base. Otherwise, if I glue that to the moss, the weight of that clip is just going to pull that moss down and I won't be able to secure it very well. And I grabbed another floral pick to secure any loose parts of the cord, and I really liked this combo of the clip and the pick working together to hide those cords. And I have gotten these floral picks on Amazon and of course Michael's. Okay, here's the path of how I hid this cord. So after we go under the base, I'm just running it down the tree. I use a couple of floral picks. Then when I got to this platform, I used another clip, and then just gonna follow a path down the tree. Once you get behind the tree, especially as you get lower down the trunk, you might not need to secure it in any way. It might just kind of hide naturally down the thicker part of the tree. Once the cords were in place, it was time for the fun to really begin. I combined both Lemax and Department 56 buildings and accessories in a display. I'll even make some things like this rotten apple booth. I have a video on that if you are interested, and I will use Ashland miniatures that I get at Michael's, and I've also gotten things off of Etsy, the dollar store. I don't worry so much about proportions or consistent style, design, or look. Whatever I like will go into a display. Oh, the switch lost her head! This season, I've really been loving these dollhouse fences. I've gotten them on Etsy and Amazon, and what I love about them is you can break them into a couple different pieces lengthwise, and so you get a different style of fence for different parts of your display. And I'm using some clippers here, but actually these will just break pretty easily and cleanly if you just bend them in half. Now, if my bases here were styrofoam, I would be able to just stick these fences straight into that platform, but since it is wood, I'm just going to attach a little hot glue to the bottom of the fence and stick it in place. My idea for this display is that each building is going to be its own little scene, complete with fences or paths, accessories, trees, anything that you would do in a regular display. Remember those clay tree stumps we made? Well, it was time to add those as well as some accessories. And I even decided to use the roots of the tree as a platform or a base for some accessories. And I'm securing those in place with a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the accessory. And I'm going to do that for the branches as well. And what I like about hot glue is that is not going to be permanent. So at the end of the season, I can pull that off. It's not going to damage the accessory. It is going to pull some paint, maybe a little pool noodle off of the tree, but this tree I think is just going to get banged up over its life. So I'm okay with doing some fixes from year to year. I have more witch buildings than I do platforms in my tree, and I wanted to be able to incorporate some of them quickly without doing a lot of work to build platforms. So I turned to one of my favorite quick platform methods, which is covering a cardboard box in some sheets of foam and then covering that in moss. If you want to see this process in a little bit greater detail, I do have a video on quick platforms. Now, this was a platform I had used in previous years for a previous display. It was a great size for one of the buildings I wanted to incorporate, so I'm just going to fill in any blank spots here with some moss, and then I made one more cardboard platform to incorporate into my display. Now, one of the things I always think about is how are our spooky friends in our display going to get from one layer of our platform to the next? Now, in a witch tree, it's pretty obvious. Like, the witches are going to fly on their brooms, right? But what if you want to visit the witch? You can't fly unless she's going to give you that magic. So you're going to need some stairs to get up to her display. So I made a super easy, quick, simple staircase to go from the roots of the tree to this cardboard platform that I made. I'm using this tool here. I don't even know what it's called, but you can get it at the dollar store to texture my styrofoam to make it look like these stairs are made of wood, and I'm just scraping it along the foam. You can also press the tool into the foam to make it look like there's little holes in your wood as well. This is XPS foam, and you can get this at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I've also ordered small sheets of it on Amazon. I wanted these stairs to be dark brown like the tree, so I'm just doing a quick, simple painting, not a whole lot of detail, and just going in with a little bit of highlighting. All right, here's the platform. That's that cardboard platform with the moss and the piece that I'm going to feature. And now let's add our stairs. And I just kind of played around with it until I got it into the right position. I tried to design the stairs so that that top stair would end right at the platform. And this is the other cardboard platform I put on the other side of the tree. I'm going to cover one layer of it here with this gravelly type rock because I've got some witches in a car figurine that I'm going to place here. And you can see that this platform has two levels. I had a piece of styrofoam that was already painted brown, so I just stuck it on top of that cardboard platform just to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. Here I wanted to show you that I put some scrap pieces of styrofoam under these roots right here because I wanted to use these roots as a platform and they were slanted a little bit too far down. And that back platform needed a little boost as well, so I just put some styrofoam under there, and then I'll cover anything that's exposed with moss. I wanted to show you where I am with these accessories in place, and the lighting in this corner is such a challenge. The artificial lighting is almost too bright, and the natural light is a little bit too dim, but I wanted to give you this view before we turned off all of the lights and lit the tree and the buildings up, just so you could hopefully see a little bit better where we've kind of placed some accessories and other little trees, some purple trees and bushes within the tree. And I realized a couple little issues now that I have to figure out before I can fully light this up and do a full reveal. I will show those to you when we get there. When I have those little issues sorted out, I will do a separate video, as I always do, for my reveals that is just the tree lit up and the buildings lit up, and we can see what all of this work has led to. And to be honest, I have not fully lit this tree up yet, and so we'll find out together what this display is actually going to look like. Okay, I started to light up the tree, and this is where I noticed the issue. Now, if you remember, I did start adding more and more strands of lights as I got towards the bottom of the tree. So the lighting was always going to be a bit of an imbalance, having the bottom of the tree lit up way more. But if you look at the right side of the tree here, you can see that it is not lit up at all. And what I discovered is that the switches for some of those strands of lights are underneath the platform. When I had moved the tree over to this location, I didn't realize that I set it down on top of some of those switches. I maybe should have had a clue when it seemed like the tree was leaning a little bit more than I remembered, but I didn't. And here we are. I'll probably have to take all of these buildings off to get those switches free and turn this tree on. But as soon as I do that, I will be ready for that full reveal. And another little tidbit I can share with you. Remember when I Velcroed the switches to the lights to the back of the tree? It had adhesive on one side of the Velcro. Well, that adhesive is gone. It's not strong enough for those lights. So I would hot glue those in place just like I did the clips for the cords. And that will do it for our Witch Tree series of videos. This is the final build video. Come back very soon. I should have that reveal, fingers crossed, ready for you guys. And thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for joining me on this journey. This is the first time I have ever done a project like this, and it was quite the ride. I branded myself. Nope, I can't do that. I can't do that. Oh, how many of you saw that? You didn't tell me. You were just letting me do it. This is a joke. I really want to try to just saw this wood. It feels like something I just want to do. Can you hear that? It's an owl. I feel like I treated pipe glue like pipe glue's an accessory. The point is Fraggle Rock. Wanting the pipe to be done. I'm not crying, I'm laughing. Real quick tip, you guys, don't get that foam glue in your hair. This project would probably go faster if you were an octopus. Uh-oh. Why is this like this? I did a bad thing, you guys. This is bad. When everything goes up, I'll just put like caution tape around the whole table and make sure nobody even goes close to the table or breathes close to it so that it doesn't shake it and then everything falls down.